Greetings and salutations, game fans. Firecracker37 here. Welcome to episode 2 of my vanilla Factorio series. Today, we're going to try and get some red and green science going as quick as we possibly can. So let's not waste any time here. Between episodes, about the only thing I've done, it's actually just been a few minutes since I stopped the last episode. I went ahead and I put some power to our 8 mining drills that we have over here, and then I set up 4 quick little furnaces that all they're doing is smelting some iron, sticking it into boxes so that I can run by and grab it. The next thing we're going to want to do is get probably 2 or 3 mining drills set up over here on our copper deposit. This one we're going to run north and south, and I just decided we're going to do 4 to start. Anything worth doing is worth overdoing, so let's just overdo it from the beginning. So we'll bring this down here a ways. I'd actually kind of like to line it up so that the copper's coming in, right about here. Also, if you noticed, I set up my hotbar, and I crafted just a few things like some assembly machines and some mining drills, a few inserters because I needed those for setting up the furnaces anyways. And with these little electric poles, if you position your poles just right, you can get it so that each pole will power 3 mining drills, and I think that is an awesome way to do it. So here we go. We should have copper coming through now, and we're barely using any power. We're using 550 kilowatts of, 5 megawatts that each one of those furnaces can, or each of those columns of power things generate. That sounds about right. For the time being, while we get our real smelting area set up, we're going to do the same thing over here that we did for the iron and just set up a quick, dirty little setup. We need a few more inserters as well. Yeah, let's grab the coal here, fill these furnaces up. This is very, very temporary. We're not going to keep this for more than just a few minutes, I'm hoping. I'm so spoiled by long reach mod, it's almost difficult to play without it. There we go. We've got a little bit of copper income now as well. The last thing we're going to do before we start getting our full-scale factory set up is we're going to make 2 assembly machines. I'm going to leave the space. No, actually, we don't need to do that. We can just leave 1 space. You're going to make iron gear wheels. You'll make red science packs. No, I did set this up wrong. Let's do it backwards. I usually like to build things backwards. It makes the most sense to do it that way. So we'll definitely want a few more inserters. We're also going to want some boxes. I know there's a lot of YouTubers who talk about how much they hate wooden boxes. They think wooden boxes are pointless. I disagree. I think wooden boxes are awesome. Most of the time, I only want 1 or 2 stacks of something saved up anyways, so why would I waste iron on an iron box when I've got all this wood I'm just going to be throwing away anyways? We are going to need power right there. And how do we want to do this? Yeah, just like that. No. Scratch that. Just like that. So this guy is going to put red science packs into the science lab. You're going to put red science packs into the box. You're going to give him gear wheels. You'll give it the copper plates. You'll feed in the iron plates. Let's tell these guys what they're making. Like so. And it's not going to be super fast by any means, but it will get the job done. We'll get red science progressing. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is set up some furnace columns. I have 30 furnaces. I like to do some spaces just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this right here is going to be the output line. Those will be the two input lines, one for fuel, one for iron ore. And we're going to go ahead and copy this right up on top as well. There are some designs you can make where you can be ready to upgrade to the electric furnaces. And sometimes I like to do that, but this time I'm just not going to worry about it. We'll probably be building a separate base when we're at that point. So it's not too big of a deal. So we've got our outputs there. This guy here, he's going to do iron. So now we're going to need the same type of setup for copper. And we're going to be 10 furnaces short, so let's get some furnaces. I don't want to build too far ahead of myself because on more than one occasion I've screwed up and I've put inserters doing the wrong thing, and then you just kind of have to start tearing things down and starting over, or I'll forget an output belt somewhere and everything will be squished together. So I just think, yeah, 2 setups here. We've got one for iron, one for copper. We'll worry about the other smeltables later. Everybody needs a power pole. There we go, done with optics. What do I want to research next? Logistics 2 we can't do. Turrets is probably a good one. Electronics. You know, military 2 is, or military is going to be the next one. We do have biters on, and I don't want to go too long and have them attack the base when we're not set up for it. Ideally, I like to create my bases so that the only time we really have to fight the biters is when we're in need of our science packs. Oh boy, that quick save took forever there. We've got a bunch of copper ore in our inventory. Let's drop that off. We don't have very many resources. There we go. So the next thing we need is a whole bunch of inserters. Each furnace needs 2 regular inserters and then one long-handed inserter. So I think we'll do 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. Alright, and this is going to take just a few minutes to craft up. What do we have for belts? Not very many belts either. So I guess a lot of this is going to be waiting. I should have maybe set up some factories to work on this stuff earlier, but in the early game it's tough. Well, one thing we are going to have to do regardless is cut down some trees. So we'll do that till our tool breaks, and then perhaps we can build stuff. You know, and I guess, yeah, we're half done with the red inserters already. So, oh, there we go. Military is finished. Turrets will be next. I'm going to have to remember in just a moment to go feed the science setup so that it doesn't stop working. What I'm hoping for, and I'm fairly confident we can do, even if it's just by the skin of our teeth, is we'll be having the red and green science setup pumping into science factories just in time for red science to finish. Oh, there we go, our tool broke, so let's queue one of those up. It's gonna kind of suck that we don't have one right now, so let's try not to put anything down where it doesn't belong. Alright, we don't have near as much iron as I wish we had. I think we can just put one iron in here. And we're backed up on science factory or science packs anyways. One thing I could do is I could set up another science factory and have some inserters move these guys around to put them in, but I don't think that's necessary. We'll be producing science somewhere else pretty quick. All right, so there goes turrets. Let's do electronics next. We're making headway with our crafting. I always put the long-handed inserters on the outside and then the near-handed inserters together on the inside. Like I said, aesthetics is important to me when I'm building a factory. And I'm not always 100% on the aesthetics, but I really try not to have ugly factories. So while I'm just putting some stuff down, I think I'd like to talk a little bit about the channel. You know, I am a brand new YouTuber. I imagine if pretty much anybody's watching this, they're watching it at some time in the future once I'm good at this, you know, hopefully. I sure hope to be around for a while. But I still intend to work on the Bob's Mods and Angel Ore series. Right now, I wanted to focus on some vanilla because I could do it a lot quicker. The Bob's Mods requires a lot of off-camera stuff because it's really complicated, and it'd be boring for you guys to watch me fumble around trying to figure out the best way to do things for what we need. You know, oh, and I just did all those backwards. So yeah, we're we're still going to do it, but I can crank out these vanilla videos a lot quicker, and I just want to get some content up on my channel. I've been, I wanted to have a video a day from the day I launched, and I have failed at that miserably, so... So probably the next, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, I'm going to try and get one of these vanilla videos out a day. And then I'm going to record one Bob's Mod every time I record. And I'll put it up, in the order, however I can. Just bear with me while I'm still new at this. In my honest opinion, the videos that I'm recording right now aren't really good enough for people to be watching, so... But you have to start somewhere, you have to build up confidence. I wanted to do this ever since I knew it was a thing that people did, I guess. Back in the days of vanilla World of Warcraft, I suppose, that type of era. I've always let something stop me. My computer wasn't good enough. My internet wasn't good enough. I don't have time. Whatever. Like, now I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna try it. So far, I love doing it. It's a lot of fun. It's a great way to just play games, and I feel anymore like if I'm playing a game, I should be recording it or streaming it. Alright, well that's enough of that anyways. We've got our guy over here ready. We're going to need... I'm going to start with 4 things of coal. And then I'm just going to make all the belt that I have iron for. In the meantime, let me try and figure out a good way to get power over here. Well, I just figured it out. There we go, that's good enough. I guess we still had some mining drills. Yeah, we'll do it this way, and then we'll bust these 2 guys off. Otherwise, the power pole was going to be where I want the coal line to run. And nice, easy way to do it. So, alright, we'll hit 4 here. And I guess I should have run the belts first, but it isn't really that big of a deal. We're going to make the top belts our fuel belts. And then the bottom belts will be our ore belts. Really need to get this all belted up here, though, before we cut it in. And of course I don't have enough belt. I cannot wait to get this being made on our own. It'll be a lot quicker than in Bob's Mods. So here we go. And it might look kind of goofy the way I'm doing this now, but it'll make perfect sense in just a moment. So we'll need 2 splitters there. Now you can probably tell exactly what I'm doing. And then we want this guy to eventually come there. Like it almost lined up right out of the gate, but not quite. And this one we want right there. Now, I didn't leave much room to expand. Oh, never mind. I was looking at the wrong thing. Yeah. Forget I said anything. Alright, we need automation too before we can automate green science, because you have to use the second science packs for the second assembly machines for the inserters. That's what I was trying to say. So there we go. We've got our coal running through, our ore running in. Oh, we missed one output here. Yeah, we need more belts. We need more iron. Here very soon we can deactivate that. Oh, I'm freaking out about not having this ready, and I haven't even cut the power in all the way yet. How should we run the power? I think right here. Oh, my. Did all of these guys backwards, too. Leave some room just in case we need to expand this. We really shouldn't, but no, actually, we're not. We're not going to expand it. This is the first base. So we'll bring this guy down like this. This one up. So here we go. The first 2 things we're going to do. You're going to make iron gear wheels. No, not. I think I clicked on sticks. So I'm not going to risk it. Okay. You're going to make transport belt. So we can stop with this nonsense. Alright, and we'll set some limits there. I like to be able to put some iron gear wheels in my pocket, so I went ahead and told it could have up to 2 stacks of iron gear wheels and then 1 row of transport belt. And because we have the transport belt closer, it'll favor making transport belt, so that should fill up before the iron gear wheels. It's very early game automation, no circuit network, so it's not 100%, but it's probably about the best way to do it. Need to get just a few of these trees out of the way. There we go. It's kind of just really killing time so that we can get some transport belt. So now, what we want to do is get our red science going. I'm going to use a separate gear factory for red science. And I'm going to do a pretty typical setup I like to do. I think the right ratio is 5 of these guys. I can't ever remember for sure. It's either 5 or 6. So iron's going to come down to there. And it's going to do that. This is going to be the output for the gear wheels. And then, so right here we want them to collide and make a double belt. So we'll do it like that. And I think we're going to want 1 space there. Let's get this. Oh, and you know what? I made the factories on the wrong side. I'm going to move them over to the other side of the belt. And I think we actually might have run out of stuff in our science factory because our science seems to be going really slow. I can't finish science if we don't finish automation too. There's that. And that'll make us 100 more science packs. Which we should almost certainly have our red and green science base operational by that point. So we're also going to need a few splitters and a few underground belts. And it's getting dark. I need to make some lights. I can't ever remember where those are. I'll just queue those up to go after these splitters and stuff. changed my mind. I've just realized we were actually making the transport belt by hand, which is kinda not a good idea. There we go. Okay. So we'll put a splitter right here. Into an underground belt that goes to right there. We'll put a splitter in there. Run this down. Get it running as fast as we can right now. And here we go. Excuse me, I just had a coughing fit come out of nowhere. I think I'm alright now, though. Ugh, still trying to get my voice back. Alright, so here we go. We've got some science factories. Get a few of these guys. We've got a bunch of trees in the way here. We just need to get rid of them. Just about to wrap up the episode here, and between episodes I'll go ahead and clear out this forest. I just want to get the red science packs being made and put onto belts before we wrap up. And we're okay to just go 1-to-1 on these because they're kind of slow to manufacture. There we go. Just need some power. And looky, looky, we should have red science. Alright, there we go. End of episode 2, and we've got red science being made on belts. Episode 3, we will for sure get green science going. Between episodes, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and clear out some of this forest. Probably going to extend our little mini bus down. Get us prepared for making the green science. And I'll try and craft up stuff so that I'm not doing it in my inventory while we're recording. Alright, well, I'd like to thank you very much for checking out my video. If you liked what you've seen and want to see some more videos in the future, please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.